first step is actually getting the patient comfortable in the chair. So we've made all the appropriate adjustments. And now I'm going to place the skin tension device. This stabilizes the skin and also has markings on it that tells the robot where we're working. I'm going to stabilize it with my right hand. Then we'll place some elastic straps to stabilize the entire device. So the skin tension device, again, stabilizes the skin, and it also allows the robot to see the area that we're working. It's starting to read the markings on the outside of the skin tension device, and I'm going to give it a command to go ahead and analyze the area. It'll look at all the emerging hairs, and it will calculate the emerging angles and hair directions. So we're going to go ahead and start the dissection process. We'll do a couple to see how the default settings are performing the dissection. I'm going to make some adjustments. So it looks like the dissections based on the default values are going quite well. So I'm going to go ahead and put it into a mode that's called Rapid Harvest. And the robot is making the selections on its own right now based on a distance parameter that we gave it. So you see that the green circles are the targeted graft. The magenta circle is the next one the system is looking at. So it's making the selections on a random basis and also taking into account the distance parameter that I've dictated. So at this point, if someone was doing a manual FUE procedure, they would have to be judging the angles and directions that the hair is emerging from. The robot is doing this very rapidly. It's assessing all the possible target grafts at about 50 times a second, and obviously very accurate because of the vision systems and the algorithms that are computing these values. The speed that it's dissecting at right now is approximately 12 to 1500 grafts an hour, which is much faster than the average surgeon can do by hand, by a factor of 2 to 3 times. So we're going to replace the tension device with a little bit of an overlap with the previous extraction area. Usually takes about a minute to a minute and 30 seconds in between grids. Again, we'll tell the robot to read the fiducial markings. It'll automatically go to the lower left-hand corner, and we'll repeat the process. It's following all our commands, and it's not trying to do anything it shouldn't do. So the robot is primarily a dissection tool. So it's separating the group of follicles, the follicular units, from the surrounding skin. But the design is it leaves the follicles in place. And those grafts will be removed by the technicians either while the robot is working on the grid or when we move to an area that's outside the area that we're working on right now. So if the robot has a selection, and if I have any issues with a graft that it's selected, I have a button here on the hair pendant that allows me to skip. So the user interface screen has several areas available for the operator to visualize. Obviously on the left-hand side of the screen is where we're watching the actual dissection process. So this is the last dissection. We did 14 grids. The dissection process went very smoothly. Probably 98% of all the harvest attempts and graft dissections were done automatically by the ARTIS system. So we're going to begin making the sites with the ARTIS system. And basically what we've done is devise the treatment plan in accordance with the patient desires and put this through the ARTIS Hair Studio into the treatment planning system. We use something we call a fiducial platform. And this device tells the robot, again, where we're working. Now, the main advantage of the ARTIS system in making the sites, well, there's several. The first one is that it's very rapid and highly accurate. So the mapping system of the ARTIS robot is such that it will avoid either pre-existing hairs or previous sites in a very accurate way. And then we're going to do two things at this stage. One is we're going to set the model that was imported into the robot to match the markings that we've made on the patient's head, dictating where the grafts are going to go. And the second thing I'm going to do is actually tell the robot to start looking for pre-existing hairs. The robot's very accurate at finding those and avoiding those when we actually make the sites where the grafts are going to go. So the robot is very accurate and very fast in this portion of the operation. And it's using the information that we entered into the plan in terms of angle of the hair implantation and direction that the hair is going to be pointing. It's using the information we provided initially in consultation with the patient. During the planning portion of the procedure, we told it how many grafts we were going to implant, and it calculates the density required to put that many grafts into a given area.